Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and yeah, we're back on with the Merlin Tonto monitor. Hopefully we may actually get this thing back together today, because fortunately I've managed to fix the switch. It's actually switching properly now. I can show you that. I've just got my a tester set up here. Here. If I connect that up to the switch, it is actually a latching switch. I didn't realise that till I cleaned it. But if I connect it up there and I press it, and when it latches, it's like a changeover switch. That's why it's got two poles on it. So while that's off, this side should be while that's open, this side should be closed. And then when I press it again, that side opens and that side closes. But it's actually, like I said, it is actually working now. It was actually so bad that it weren't actually clicking properly. It was pushing in, but you weren't getting that actual definite click. And I tried, basically what I did, I tried squirting a little bit of switch cleaner down there and working it. That didn't do anything. And then I sat it in a bit of WD-40. I sprayed some into the lid and I sat it in some WD-40 for an hour or two. Tried it again. I still weren't getting any reading on there. Nothing were happening. So as a last resort, I've got a little ultrasonic cleaning bath. It's designed for jewellery and stuff. I've used it more than anything else for cleaning out carburetor needles in little two-stroke chainsaws and generators and stuff like that. But basically I filled the bath in that about an inch full with isopropyl, dropped the switch in there and ran it for about an hour in the ultrasonic cleaning bath. When I pulled it out, I tried the switch. Like I said, it works. So I think it was just really gummed up inside, and like I said, the agitation in the ultrasonic cleaner actually, plus obviously the IPA, dissolve whatever was gluing up in there and got it working again. So hopefully we'll put that switch back on the board. We'll reassemble this with them horrible little clips. We'll get the power board back in there, and we'll actually finally be able to give it a proper try. Another thing is my meter's playing up as well, and this is the only meter I've got access to at the moment. I've tried putting a new battery in it, but on the voltage range it's reading ridiculously high. I did pull my Evo out of the garage and just check some voltages, comparing them with my Evo and this, and it's reading about like 40 or 50% high, something like that. So don't know what's happened with that. So that's probably for the bin. They're not worth repairing, these things. Anyway, let's crack on. Right, let's see if we can get this switch back on here. It wasn't too bad to get off, but I can guarantee it's going to be a pain to get back on. Let's have a look here now. Let's get the iron and just see if we can clean these tags off a little bit. There's a little bit of excess solder on some of these. Just rub it off like that. It should just make it a bit easier for us to get these. There, that's better. Get these back in the holes. At least I didn't have to try and go inside the switch, because I'm pretty sure if I'd have tried to get inside it, I would have ruined it. So it's a bit of a weird switch, this one. And I'm just straightening all them tags out so they're perfectly straight, and hopefully it'll go fairly easily back into the board now. We're nearly in there now. might have to do is just heat it up a little bit on. I think it's a little bit tight on that last pin there. The rest have gone, seem to have gone through. There we go, straight through. As soon as I heated it up, then. So give that a little bit of heat. Just make sure they're all the way through. Yeah, that's sat nice and flat now. Ooh. Then we can push these little tags down to lock the switch in position. Oops. And pull the switch free at the same time, and I'll hold them. I wasn't. Just bend these over, because these lock the switch down mechanically, and then we can solder the wires. I suppose on some applications these will probably be soldered in place, but on this they're just bent over. There we go. That's the switch mechanically fitted again. Right, let's solder that back in place, and then we can contend with these horrible little clips. They really are horrible, these, to work with as well. Right, let's that's the first one, second one. That's the third one in. There we go. So that is the repaired switch back in position. Right, now it's these little clips that we've got to contend with. If I remember correctly, it's ages since I've done anything with these, but I know they're a right pain to work with. I've got to push them through from this side to start with, and then there's a washer to go on the back to stop it shorting against the metalwork, and then after we've done all that, we've got to put the little securing pin in to finally hold it in place. I remember last time I was in a ZX80, I think I must have broke about 3 or 4 of them. But I must admit, actually, it was quite a yellowed ZX80, so I think there are a bit of UV damage there, which probably wasn't helping things. These are actually lovely and white. Obviously, being inside a monitor, they haven't suffered that problem. I do need to get these two apart, though. There we go. There's like 4 little petals on them, that's all you can describe them as. And you've got to get all 4 squished in before it'll go through the hole. Ah, there we go, that's in. Last one. Ah, that one went in easy. Right, now we've got the fun of, now we've got them in, we've got to put a washer on the back of each one of them. These little plastic washers. This is just to stop the board actually touching the metalwork where this thing clips in place. So they're on. This is one of these jobs where you need I don't know how many pairs of hands. Right, that's all them on there. Let's try and get this in there. I think we'll work on the top 2 first. Basically what we've got to do now is exactly the same again. There's is push these through the aluminium bracket behind. But we have the problem now is we can't quite get in like we could with the other one to push it in. These are going to be a pain to get back in. It's one of the reasons I really didn't want to have to take this. Ah, that first one's in. Didn't really want to have to take this board off unless I could help it, but unfortunately, sod's law, I couldn't. I had to take it off. Right, in fact, you don't need to watch me struggle with this. I'll be right back as soon as I've got this these tags all back in. So back in a second. Okay, we're there. I've just got one last rivet to push in. They were a right pain to get back in. I thought they would have been. Just zoom you in. Oops, that we go. Up you come. Just if you've never dealt with these horrible little things before. As you can see, I've got most of them in that one in there and what have you. This is the last one. As you can see, this stud's actually in. And basically then to lock it in position, you take this little plastic thing, stick it in the hole like that, and then push it in position. That basically stops the back of it spreading back out and pulling back through in the boards. Actually, it does lock the board in really tightly. It's just, as I've said, every one of them I've dealt with in the past, I've always ended up breaking a few of them, but they've usually been places where they're more visible and they've had more chance to be attacked by light. Obviously in this monitor that's not been so much of an issue, so we've got away with it this time. Right, let's get this connector back up. So we want our video signal, that's that one. Goes on the bottom one. And push that in like that. And this top one that connects to the monitor's main board, that's back on. There we go. Right, so we should be ready now to put the good power supply in it and see how far we can go. Right, excellent. I'm reasonably happy it's not going to blow this power supply up. I think we've eliminated all really bad faults now. And with them extra capacitors that, ooh, sugar lumps. I think I'll have to find that after. It's bounced under my desk. Just lost one of the screws that mounts the power supply PCB onto the side of the case. I'm sure we'll find that in a minute. Right. I'll hold this in position. I'll put them two screws in first just to hold it in place, and then we can deal with the other side. Okay. I'll put this next screw in. So we will probably try and repair that other power supply, and then this can at least have its original power supply back in it, but at least for the time being. So I don't need it in the disk drive I took it out of, that one that's meant to be for my master compact, because I don't use that disk drive with my master compact. Like I say, I have an alternative one that I've cobbled together myself that's a bit better. But obviously, you know, because it is a rare computer, I would like it complete. So eventually, I do hope I can put this back in it. But for the time being, like I said, it's at least it means we can see how far we can get with this monitor. If I can find that screw. That's the one problem with putting this laminate floor down in my office. Things tend to bounce. I'll just pause, you know, I'll be right back as soon as I've located that screw, so back in a second. Well, I've just spent 20 minutes looking for it and I still haven't found that bloody screw. Fortunately, it's the same thread as a computer PCB, motherboard screw on a modern computer, so I've just pinched one of them out of my box and stuck it in down there for the time being. I will endeavour to find that correct screw, because I'm sure it's not gone, oops, let's get you a bit more lined up. I'm sure it's not gone too far, but for the moment it was just easier to do that. Right, final few things to connect before we can actually see if this thing does anything. So let's connect that on, which is that connects to the lead that goes out to the computer. It also connects to that front board there. We've got an earth we need to connect up, which is that one there, or a ground, and we've got the mains input from the IEC on the back. They need to connect onto there, and I do need a little cable tie from there as well when we're finished as well. I had to cut it off while I was working on this, but I will put a new cable tie around there. Right, I think that's everything back together. We now have a switch that actually works there. Let's hopefully we can find an IEC lead. We can give this thing another try, and hopefully we won't get a bang out of the power supply this time. Right, I've got my IEC lead here. Let's we will be careful, obviously. We're going to run this open. Let's get it round like that, and hopefully you can see everything. As I did before, I've got it plugged in, the IEC plugged in, but I've not got the plug connected yet, because that's what we'll do as the thing to actually power this on. I suppose there's nothing else to do. Let's give it a try and see what happens. So power on. And I'll unplug that straight away because we didn't seem to get anything then. I'm not happy with that. I'm just going to look over a few things. I'll be right back in a second. Well folks, this gets better and better. It looks like my nice fully working tested power supply is no longer working. So I did try this power supply before I actually pulled it out of the disk drive it was being used in, and it worked fine. Excuse me. And I'm getting absolutely no 12 volts out of it. I've even, like I said, I've disconnected the monitor from it, so all I was doing was powering the front board there, and I'm getting absolutely nothing out of it at all. I can't. I've just done some continuity checks here between the plug and the mains coming in here, the fuse, everything. Everything's good, but it looks like I'm getting absolutely zero volts out of it. So until I can find a better, well, this will, like I said, this is showing like erroneous readings when it's reading voltage, but when I had it connected up then, it was showing 0 volts. Now, even though the meter is faulty, if you give it a voltage, it does display something. So basically, I need a better meter. I need a new meter. I think we're going to have to postpone this until I can either bite the bullet and dig right to the very end of the workshop where I know there's a drawer with some meters in it, or I can't even do what I would have normally done prior to last year, which was fly down to Maplin's and buy one of the cheapy £5 Maplin multimeters. I can't even do that now. So I'll see if I can rustle up a new multimeter, and we'll get back to this as soon as I've got some actual proper test gear, because this repair's turning into a nightmare. That power supply was definitely working. I can't see that this has fried it or anything. We've not got anything there. There's no dead shorts or anything anymore. It's not like any smoke out or anything. It's literally, as far as I can see, the 12 volt line on it's just dead. So anyway, we'll be back as soon as I've seen if we can sort out some better test equipment. So back very shortly. Okay, this is getting weirder and weirder. As you can see, I've got it out of the monitor again. I've got it on the bench. The power supply. I managed to find another tester, and I've just checked it on the bench here, and all my voltages are right. They're exactly where they should be. I've got 12 volts where I should have 12 volts. I've got 5 volts where I should have 5 volts. Everything. So I don't know what's going on here, because I mean the monitor powered up when we tried that with a separate PSU. This PSU is working. I guess I'll reinstall it in the monitor and we'll have another try. So again, back in a second when I've got this put back in the monitor. I'll recheck all the connections and we'll take it from there. So back very shortly. Okay, before we put this thing all back together, I've hooked it all, I've connected everything up, but I've left it all on the bench. So we've got the power supply here out on the bench, but we've actually got it connected up to the board there, and then that's connected up to the CRT. In fact, I suppose what we could do, just one second, like that. Where was we? Is that what we could do is we could disconnect. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to disconnect the monitor board. So all we've got is connected up is that ICL board, and hopefully, if all's well, we should at least get the power LED on there to light, and that might bring that light on. I'm not sure yet, but hopefully we'll power it up at that, and we'll see whether we can get that at least that LED down there to light up. And if that works, we'll power it back off again, and we'll actually try connecting the monitor back up and see what happens then. So let's take it from there. I've actually got the IEC bit of it. I don't know if you've noticed, I've got the actual IEC out the back of the monitor here. That's how I'm powering this board up. I mean, you do have to be careful doing this, obviously. When that board's powered up, it is live. Obviously, I know there's nothing conductive on my desk. I've no worries about anything shorting out, but obviously that's something you would have to bear in mind, and obviously you wouldn't have to be stupid enough to like touch this thing while it's actually live. Anyway, safety talk over. Let's power it up and see what happens. Let's see. No, nothing. We didn't get any illumination from the LED there at all. This really is odd, because we know the board's working, so we know that that's alright. I'm getting 5 volts and 12 volts out of the power supply. Just curiosity's sake, I'm just going to connect up the monitor as well, just in case it's the signal there's something it needs from there to actually make it power up. That's unlikely though. That board should still power up even if that's not connected. So that really is everything connected up. In fact, let's just put a meter on the 12 volts line as well. Let's just monitor it while we're doing this, and we'll just make sure that we have got correct voltage going in. If it's not, then obviously something's shorting it and bringing the power down when it's connected up. It's just really weird that it was working before on a it was working before when we connected it with a different power supply. Right, connect these up. Let's get that set to 20 volts, that should be fine. And this meter at least does read correctly, which is good. Right, let's get this connected up. We can go push that in there to monitor the 12 volts. Push that in there to monitor the, well, to get the ground connection. There we go, they should be decent enough connections. We've got the meter on there. Let's power it up and we'll see what we get. Just make sure we are getting our 12 volts, but nope, not showing any voltage up there at all. Let me try disconnecting this from the monitor board. This is getting most odd. There we go. Oops. And connect that back up like that. Just make sure we get a decent connection. That's the only real issue. There we go. And let's make sure we just see with that disconnected like that whether we're getting anything again. Yeah, there we go. There's our 12 volts. Well, 11.90. It's close enough to 12 volts. Let's try disconnecting the. This really is stumping me. This monitor. We may have to come up with an alternative solution if we can't. So I've just got the monitor board connected up. I've got the I've just got this ICL board connected up. I've got the monitor board disconnected, and we'll just see if we get 12 volts or whether it's actually something on that board that's shorting everything out. So let's try it again. I'm literally just plugging the power in while I get a reading off there, and then I'm unplugging it straight away. I don't want to stress this power supply. Like I said, the short circuit protection and like overload on these early switch mode power supplies is not good at all, if it's got any at all. I mean, this looks like it does have some, but I don't want to risk blowing up this one power supply. But let's just see what happens there. I'll quickly plug it in. Aha! You see that then? So it looks like we do still have a fault on that that monitor board, because that's working. That's working, but the we've still got something shorting out on that monitor board. It's all it can be. Because as soon as we connect that up, it completely kills the 12 volts. Oh, fun, 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 fun. We may have to look at other options now, unless I can actually find a circuit diagram for this monitor. I really am going to be struggling. Because I mean, we've checked all the real simple faults it could be on that board, electrolytic capacitors. I've even been through all the other capacitors. We've been through all the transistors. We'd have to pull that board. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull that board out and carry on working on that board, see if we can actually fix it. Or we know that this board here basically takes the HV sync and the RGB from the Tonto and converts it to a composite signal to be fed to this this monitor. I wonder if we just hijack them signals and we can just feed them to an LCD screen or something like that. I know it's not an ideal solution, but I was actually considering doing that in the future anyway. Really, so we can use the Tonto, obviously, like I said, in full colour, because this is only the cheapest screen that came with the computer. You know, it's on your basic, what's it, like 7-inch, 8-inch mono screen. That's where we can have a nice, you know, 14-inch colour screen if we do that. I think we'll probably do one more video on trying to fix that main board. I might even not do a video. I might just have another tinker with it. I'm not sure yet. But if I can't get anywhere with that, I think that's the way I'm going to have to go. We will hijack the bits we can from this, like the lead. I mean, we won't ruin the monitor or anything. We will eventually get this working. But we might borrow the lead, the power supply, and that board. Or in fact, why would I need that board? I've got HV sync. We can combine them and get a composite sync. And I've got RGB. So, yeah, we could just get RGB colour out of it. So yeah, in the next video, well, like I said, what I'll probably do is I'll probably have another fiddle with that main board from this thing without making a video about it. Then I can swear and be get all frustrated with the board and not have to look a fool on camera. If I can't get anywhere with it, we'll look at using the power supply and the lead and making an adapter box so we can run it on a modern RGB, at least power it up on a modern RGB TV and do it that way. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video here for now. Unfortunately, so we're not getting much further with it, and it does look like we do still have a fault on that main board for the monitor. So like I said, I'll leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed that little update and that little ramble. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.